Hello buddy, welcome back to another video. I'm Wealth Gaming here, and today I'm playing some more Cookie Run Kingdom. So today we're going to be doing some more, never mind. I was going to say we're going to be doing some more Chapter 13, which we might do. I'm not super certain. But first things first is we actually are going to test out Caramel Arrow Cookie, because I got it last time and then I literally did nothing. Unlocked the cookie and then never used her or even tried her once. So yeah, Caramel Arrow Cookie, you exist. No. What happens if we say, let's remove all of you, and then let's see how far we can get, because I don't want you to level up too much. This is a very slow process. Different option. Max, minus. Level 30. We're gonna go for a level 30 Caramel Arrow Cookie, because it doesn't use many resources, but we still get a pretty cool unit. So yeah, level 30 should be pretty powerful. What is actually the ability? Few enemies can keep their wits when they see the twin blades turning into a bow. Caramel Arrow Cookie performs a range attack. Targets cookies first. Interesting. That seems to be a new theme with the new cookies. And leaves an arrow mark on the hit enemy. After the range attack, the arrow mark explodes when the Caramel Arrow Cookie rushes towards the enemy, dealing damage proportional to the enemy's max HP. This damage is capped at 300,000. Okay. I don't know if that's a lot. I'm assuming that's meant for bosses, but if you're telling me she's going to be doing 300,000 damage to bosses, you know. During the range attack, Caramel Arrow Cookie receives a buff that makes her immune to debuffs. Pretty helpful. While Caramel Arrow Cookie is using her skill, she will become resistant to interrupting effects. That's pretty helpful. Damage relative to max HP, 30.9% for cookies, 3.1% for other enemies. Which, I mean, like, that's still a lot of damage. 3% of, like, 10 million is, I believe, 300,000, so it's certainly not nothing. Immunity for 8 seconds, that's not bad. Arrow mark, 12-second duration, stacks up to max 12 times. Okay. But honestly, yeah, that sounds pretty darn powerful overall. Definitely sounds like a character you want to go cooldown on. So, for the sake of testing, I'm just going to steal cooldown from other characters, because to get it myself would be a big hassle. So, I'll see you in a second when I've effectively stolen cooldown from enough cookies. Okay, there we go. Fully upgraded cooldown toppings, which I think is probably what makes the most sense. I'm debating leveling her up more, but I think I'm going to hold off for the time being. So really, because she based off percentage damage, she's a pretty decent cookie for low levels, which is actually really cool, all things considered. It means she's probably quite a good unit for lower level enemies. Away, Chapter 13, we are back to Chapter 12, to test some more things out. So yeah, Chapter 13, or Chapter 12, rather. I think, for simplicity, I'm going to try to take out Vampire as a comparison, so let's go in with this build for a second, basically see, hey, how much damage do we do with these cookies, and then swap out Vampire, one of the highest damage dealing single target cookies in the game, for, well, I'll turn on for a second here, for, what am I going to say? I was going to say the cookie that I'm talking about, Caramel Arrow Cookie, of course. I definitely didn't forget her name. But no, so we're going to test it out for Caramel Arrow Cookie, which, again, 3%. 3% of 3 million. 3 million is 300,000. 3% is basically 100,000, right? Pretty sure that's 100,000. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure with the 10 million health boss, like Legendary Green and Shred Dragon in second form, currently, Caramel Arrow Cookie would be dealing 300,000 damage, which is pretty darn good. To be fair, though, I believe I have seen Vampire Cookie deal more damage than that, which sounds a little crazy, but with a bunch of defense, like removing stuff, like buffs between Dark Choco and the Pilgrim Slingshot, generally speaking, so I'm just going to look at that, by the way, 1 minute 40 seconds is when we switch forms. I'm going to look at that. That probably makes the most sense, because that's a weaker form. So if she beats this, that's an even bigger advantage. But anyways, as I was saying there, Vampire Cookie can easily deal over 300,000 damage. In fact, usually over 1 million damage. When using the builds that actually work for him, she's a frontliner, or is she middle? She's a frontliner. Oh no, oh no. That's a bad sign for someone like that. I was sort of like, oh yeah, she can sit in the back, she can deal her percentage damage, it'll be so good. No, absolutely not. Also, auto mode off. Caramel cookie deals. We have to wait a second for the effect to go off. Oh, it does stack multiple times. I see no damage being applied. She did literally nothing. These arrows are doing like 3k damage. I'm very confused. Am I missing something here? Arrow mark. Okay, the explosions are dealing 100,000 damage, I believe. Okay. No, I have to wait this out to see the damage spreadsheet, essentially. Because these units should die pretty quickly without auto mode on. Obviously, they didn't use their abilities, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, that wasn't horrible, but it didn't look that good. It's hard to know for sure, honestly. Different approach. Just pure vanilla. Like, literally just pure vanilla and caramel cookie. Now, can we do, like, now beat all the damages from caramel cookie. A level 30 cookie, I'd like to remind you. This is a much better test. I don't know why I didn't do this from the start. Because now we can just keep caramel cookie alive. Let's run auto mode. 3.8 million health. Her effect in total, so each hit only doing like 3,000 damage, obviously, but then the effects themselves are doing like 70,000 damage each, which is proportional. It's percentage-based damage, so technically speaking, she's going to be doing what looks to be about 15% damage per ability usage, which I also want to point out, she's meant to deal 30% to cookies, so she would be dealing 150% of a cookie's health.
I will not falter.
Interesting. That basically means her ability currently is guaranteed to one-shot a cookie. That's kind of crazy. Like, really, really crazy.
I will not falter.
So, interesting now. So, we're peaking at about 100,000 damage. Question is now, damage buffs. I assume they don't work. But do damage buffs work? Because if they do, obviously, that's a pretty big deal. Because then we can buff... Well, we can buff an already insane number way, way higher. So, there aren't too many we can use here, but I can use Raspberry, and I can also use... I can replace Crit Chance with... Because I don't think we were getting crits on it. I will replace it with the Bear Jelly's Lollipop, and we're going to see if this makes a difference. Not significant damage boost, but there are definitely some damage boosts. How much more... Like, will we do more damage, or is it the same amount of damage? Because if it's more damage... That's really, really insane, being able to buff percentage damage with percentage multipliers. I also do not mean to have that happen. Oh yeah, with attack boost, I assume it's the same amount of damage, because it's percentage proportional stuff. I don't know, we're seeing 95,000s there.
For my master.
So let's see again. Basically 100,000 damage. Okay, so it doesn't look like they stack, because these would be much more significant differences. So that's too bad, but still, that's a heavy damage dealer that, although not being insane, it's a pretty solid cookie. I'm not super sure if she would be that helpful in a lot of circumstances. It's hard to know how well she would do against bosses, especially since there is the whole debuff, like, resistance in the Chapter 13. So, interesting to see. We'll see. I might end up using her. I do quickly want to do one multiplayer battle, and then we'll probably do a little bit of Chapter 13. So let's do the basic thing. Let's go to this, blah, 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 blah. Find someone with a decent party that's not a god, and then I'll fight them. You're all level 60, including some overpowered cookies. No, thank you. Level 34. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. Level 34. You are... Okay, this is pretty good. 62,000. Oh, I'm using this build. Okay, not quite what I meant to do. I wanted to do... Caramel arrow cookie. Where are you? Caramel arrow cookie. She shouldn't instantly die, so we get to see how much damage she can do. No, just caramel arrow cookie. Who says I need any other cookies to win? I probably do, but... So, yeah, the effects seems to be applied to multiple enemies. Healing's a thing. I forgot about that. But again, I do need to clarify, although my treasures are better, this is one level 30 cookie versus a team of, like, level 30 plus, of, like, higher than level 30 cookies. That wasn't exactly set. Like, look at this team, if I can see it again. Yeah, so each cookie, all the cookies were above level 30, except Night Cookie was level 29. A lot of them had stars. They were mostly epics. And yes, their treasures are significantly worse than mine, but even still, that's pretty decent, all things considered. I'm not super sure if she'd do that great in, like, an overall build. Since I think she died really quickly, but let's actually take a look quickly. I do go against someone really powerful, like not super duper insane. Oh wait, this is pretty good. This is a decent match for my team. And then let's prop up with my normal team for the most part. Is that 5 cookies? It's not. Good thing I'm not blind. Okay, let's take a look here. 412,000. So we do have the advantage here. We're definitely stronger than this team, but not by a, like, insane amount. So let's see. Will she make a difference? Will we do pretty good with her? She does get her attacks up before getting instantaneously stunned by Sea Fury, which is pretty likely. And in fact, I think she actually came... Okay, so we killed that team at 100% health. That's an interesting thing. But I do feel like the stunning probably made a big difference to that. So, as one last thing here, let's see, what was I gonna do? Let's just remove Dark Choco and Licorice, at which point we should 100% lose this. Will we somehow still win? Maybe? Is Pure Vanilla just absurd? Hard to know. I want to do some tests here, because PvP seems like it's where she's gonna shine more. Because, yeah, no, that's high percentage damage that is... Yeah, like, she's doing a lot of damage there. So obviously, not absurd, but she's a solid cookie there. Like, she was doing decent chunks of damage. One last time, no Sea Fairy, just Caramel Arrow. But yeah, really powerful cookie. Because it's percentage-based damage, I believe this is the first time we've seen this before, which is really cool. However, because it's not like injury, which was applied earlier, are those ever going to go off? I don't think they are. No, I don't think they actually take damage with the debuffs unless they actually get hit again. But my point is, percentage-based damage we haven't seen before, but it's not quite like injury in the sense where it takes away max life. So although very powerful, it's not exactly like game-breaking, so incredible. But still, sounds like a really cool cookie, Caramel Arrow cookie. The first percentage-based, like the first percentage damage dealer. That's pretty cool. That's definitely pretty cool. But alas, not all that much else to show there. So let's go back to my normal build here. I'll actually try to make some progress. Hopefully we will actually be able to make a fair bit of progress here. Swap treasures back around too, because don't want to have some bad treasures. Let's get back into the stage. There is probably going to be a lot of story here, which is why I feel a little bad about doing this. Because I'm tempted, like, I want to use, like, Caramel Arrow cookie testing, because that's, obviously, that's, at this point, probably half, if not more, of the video. But, if I'm about to get a lot of story, which last time, if you haven't seen the video, sets up, Dark Cacao Cookie meeting Dark Choco Cookie again, where Dark Choco Cookie may or may not be here to assassinate him, because he came with the evil cookies who teamed up with Affogato Cookie. Lots of interesting stuff happening. Lots of insane stuff happening. But it means there might be a ton of story about to come out. So, personally, I'd probably rather that if the next 2 or 3 stages were kind of boring and didn't have story, simply for content's sake, but obviously, interesting is still good. My issue, though, is, like, it makes it hard to decide if I should say, hey, I'm testing out Caramel Arrow Cookie, that's the main part of this video. Because I sort of can do both, but you can't really do both. The thumbnail's gotta be something. The title can probably have both things if I'm doing, Caramel Arrow Cookie testing as well as blah 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 blah, chapter 13 stages and story and whatever. But it's kind of hard to do that for a thumbnail, which is a little annoying, because, yeah. Not the greatest explanation, but it could be worse.
Our fate was
and we have story already. We do, right? Yeah, story. There's definitely story here.
Dark Choco Cookie. Dark Choco Cookie. Do my eyes deceive me? How did...
You've quite the loyal retainer.
I see. Affogato Cookie. That traitorous worm. Tell me, why have you returned? Are you here to ask for my forgiveness?
I had no choice but to come here. I am here for the Soul Jam.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that. Talking about how the ancient cookies had this special soul jam inside them, and I guess that's what Dr. Enchantress Cookie wants. That was like, I completely forgot about that.
I have led Dark Enchantress Cookie's armies to these lands. A force to be reckoned with. But if you surrender now and hand over your sword, we will leave immediately.
As if trespassing into this citadel like wretched vermin wasn't enough, you dare to utter that name and bring her forces here?
Oh.
You do not deserve the mantle of a prince. You are no son of mine. Do you not feel a bit of shame, even as you walk past the altar of the fallen?
Yeah, this is pretty horrible, but that's also a cool effect. The sword slots, we don't really have much stuff like that.
And you are not the great king we all thought you were. This ancient citadel is crumbling by the year. The time has come to lay waste to it and watch all these lands be cleansed by the flames of war.
Tread lightly, boy. Your next words may be your last.
This is a very cool battle, very interesting. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I feel like Dark Cacao Cookie's probably gonna die, but that would be really sad. But on the other hand, I don't really know if there is a best case scenario here. Like, unless Dark Chocolate Cookie snaps out of it and Dark Cacao Cookie doesn't continue to attack, which he probably would, I really don't see a situation where one of these characters doesn't die right now, which is kind of sad. Oh no, it's him, isn't it? It's done. Is it done already?
You've grown weak over the years. This is your last chance. The Soul Gem. Give it to me!
No, Dark Chocolate Cookie, you don't have to do this. You can betray Dark Enchantress Cookie like we all, or not all, I don't know. Like, I sort of hope you do.
I have bad news for you, boy. I do not have it with me.
The sword? I guess the sword has the soul gem like Hollybear's shield did?
The Soul Gem is hidden within the deepest recesses of this citadel. To protect it until the bitterest of ends.
Okay, I mean, that kind of makes sense, except for the fact that the soul gem is probably what gives you a lot of your power, and you probably could have won this fight if you had it, so not the best move, maybe. I don't know. I don't really know what the soul gems do. I just remember at the end of chapter 10, Pure Vanilla Soul Gem created, like, Dark Enchantress' monster into, like, a 10 times stronger version.
Then our conversation ends here.
Where do you think you are going? I'm not done with you yet. You're nothing without its power.
So it does have power. See, like, this is my point. No, someone's gonna die. His hair was always red. That's not blood, right?
No one can survive falling from this height.
Oh, wow. He pushed him off the bridge?
Was this my destiny all along? The king, this entire kingdom, decimated by my own hand. What a waste.
Dark Chocolate Cookie's life sucks. Like, I don't really know if it's his own fault or who knows what, but his life really stinks. He destroyed his kingdom. He seemingly now killed his father, though I find that unlikely. I don't think the Ancients are dead. I think they're gonna stay alive, but still. That's something, alright. And that's probably what we're gonna end on today. Just one stage. A fair bit of story there. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so soul gems. I guess those are a thing and really important and like crazy cool and interesting. I feel like I'm probably gonna end up doing, like, look over some story and stuff and see if I can come up with some sort of, like, theory questioning idea about soul gems. Because I feel like that would be kind of cool. I feel like they're going to become, like, they're going to end up playing a much bigger role in the near future of the story. And we do have a fair bit of information about them so far, so I feel like sometime in the near future I might do that. If you guys have some ideas for that video, some thoughts of your own, some like, oh, I think this is how soul gems work, or something about them, definitely let me know. Beyond that, just say hi, leave a comment, I appreciate it. Give the video a like, subscribe, be awesome. And, yeah, thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful day. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!